And now we want to welcome Dr. Mike Sevilla from the Family Practice Center of Salem with some of the advice on how to tackle the spring forward that's coming up next week. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
And today we're talking daylight saving time, but you know, some people, they really just don't seem to like the spring forward. What could be some negative impacts about that?
Well, I mean, I talked to a lot of my patients. It doesn't even feel like spring out there, but it is coming. A week from today, going to be springing forward. And I talked to a lot of my patients about this because you do lose an hour of sleep, but it can have a huge amount of impacts. It's not the spring forward Sunday, but it's actually the Monday and Tuesday. There's some studies out there that you do have things like increased heart attacks, increased amount of strokes. You can even have people have increased workplace injuries, and also increase the number of car accidents on the Monday and the Tuesday following when you spring forward, because it's only an hour, but it can really mess with people's circadian rhythm, and it can really cause some danger. So you just have to be ready for that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that everyone has to keep in mind. But thanks so much for coming on. In our next half hour, we're going to have Dr. Mike Sevilla back in the studio again, talking about how to prepare yourself for the spring forward. Thank you, Tim. And now we want to welcome Dr. Mike Sevilla from the Family Practice Center of Salem with some advice on how to tackle the spring forward that's coming up next week. Welcome back again.
Good morning.
And today we're talking daylight saving time, and that's the one that people don't like. And it's where you lose an hour of sleep.
That's right.
So what are some of the things that people can do to prepare for the upcoming spring forward?
Yeah, and I tell a lot of my patients this all the time, is that even though it's a week away, you can start right now. The first step is just to transition to that time change, especially people with kids. Start to put your kids to bed about 15 minutes earlier, even starting today, and then as the week goes along, start to move it back, and then as you get to the weekend, you should be fine there. So second is, avoid bright lights before bed. I know I'm really guilty of this too. No television, no phone, no tablets, computers. That can be tough, but that definitely messes up your sleep as well. Exercise during the day, that keeps you really kind of active, at least 30 minutes most days of the week. And probably the most important thing I'd tell my patients, if you can't get to sleep, get up. If it's more than 20 minutes, go to another room, read a little bit. That can help you get to a little bit of sleep. All those 4 tips can really help you get ready to spring ahead for daylight savings time.
See, a lot of people, they don't think that it will affect them, but I know me personally, it'll happen on either Monday or Tuesday when it really starts to kick in, when that alarm goes off.
Right, exactly. And unfortunately, a lot of my patients, they're already sleep deprived. So you do one more hour, and that's right. It's not the Sunday, it's the Monday and the Tuesday following the time change, which can be really dangerous, which we talked about last hour.
All right, well, thank you, Dr. Mike. That's all that we have for that part of our segment today, and I know a lot of people out there, including myself, will struggle with that time change. As a reminder, it will happen next Sunday, Saturday night, Sunday, March 10th at 2 a.m.